Sewer Utility District. I'd like to call the Sewer Utility District Commission of August 29th to order. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Strelchak?
Here.
Commissioner Bushy?
Here.
Commissioner Meyer?
Here.
Commissioner Hancher?
Here.
Commissioner Garrow?
Here.
Commissioner Parrish?
Here.
Commissioner Schneider?
Here.
Commissioner Nervin?
Here. First, we have a discussion item, overview of action items for the proposed sewer service area boundary amendment. I assume either Kristen or someone will take the point.
I will take the point. Good evening, commissioners. We just wanted to provide a little overview of why we're having an additional meeting beyond that to contemplate the sewer service area boundary amendment. We've been working with the two adjacent property owners that are otherwise enclosed by the proposed subdivision property on whether or not they would be interested in also being considered as a part of the sewer service area boundary amendment. After some conversations, they are interested in doing so, provided that the developer would extend a lateral to the adjoining property lines for them to otherwise use. This is consistent with what we have required in central growth requirements for extension to existing parcels, but to memorialize that, given the permanentness of the sewer service area boundary amendment, we're asking for your approval of two additional items. And that's the development agreement language that would eventually be included in the final version of the developer agreement, spelling out the terms and conditions for the requirement for that lateral extension. And then subsequently, the agreement with the property owners that echoes those indications of what the developer will provide, and also explain to them the terms and conditions of the sewer service area boundary amendment, not the least of which is the sewer tax. So those two items are, separately on the agenda. We just kind of wanted to explain how they are incorporated into what we're ultimately requesting is the approval of that sewer service area boundary amendment.
Are there any questions for staff before we take up those items?
Just one.
Okay.
That would
Alderman
be
Meyer.
that would be the
Meyer.
extent of that? Just those two?
Correct. Those are the only two that could ultimately be served. As you know, the Mequon Nature Preserve is otherwise further to the east and has no facilities in the general area, and Huntington Park to the west is already connected.
Okay.
I think I saw Commissioner Parrish.
Sure. Thank you. What is it called private sewer service? If it's private sewer now and they're hooking up to public, maybe this is...
The lateral is private, so that's why it's a private sewer service. It's not a main extension.
Okay.
It would be essentially a joint lateral, which in some worlds is called a private interceptor main, in this case for consistency between the two documents, because the development agreement is ultimately an agreement between the city and the developer, and the sewer service agreement is the agreement between the city and the property owners. We're trying to get some consistency with the language.
Okay. Commissioner Strelchak.
Yeah. Page 8 of the packet, there were some requested adjustments to the agreement there where staff called out comments on the side that you weren't in agreement with them. So as we have it before us, is the clean version or it's this one, just for my clarity?
It's the clean version. We just wanted to share what the developer's requests for amendments to that were. We're not recommending those modifications, but we wanted them to be represented in the packet in terms of what the developer was requesting.
I think your recommendations as staff is very fair. So thank you.
Okay, we're getting maybe a little ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to take up the resolutions here. The first up is Resolution 3975, resolution approving language to be incorporated into a development agreement for Swan Ridge Farms for private sewer service to adjacent properties. So, is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second. Motion and a second. So if there's any further discussion, let's keep rolling now. We do have, let's see, is this the right? No, this is the wrong item. Just want to make sure we're not missing any public comment. It's on the next item, so we're still on 3975. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That matter is recommended onto the council. We now have resolution 3976 before us. A resolution approving sanitary sewer service area of agreements for properties adjacent to the proposed site development at Swan Ridge Farm subdivision. Those being 10129 and 10133 North Swan Road.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion in a second. Any further discussion? If not, well, let's get public comment first. We do have two people registered to speak to this item. First, we have Bob Breeze from 10133 North Swan. He supports, wishes to speak.
I think I'll pass it. I'm just here to support what the staff is doing.
Okay, thank you. And Jane Chavaco, 10129 North Swan Road, supports and wishes to speak. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Any further discussion from the council on resolution 3976? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That matter is recommended to the council. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.